I had said that I would review whether or not that Chevy Colorado was even going to be able to get in the garage, even though it's short enough that it fits better than the Brom. I'm showing this as the longest one I could find. I don't. He Danny's might be shorter than this, but this is the longest one that I could find specifications on. And I actually double checked the width of that Colorado as well, and it's a little wider than the other models. So this is the biggest Colorado they make apparently. That is the turning circle, 41 foot 3 or 4. You get in here and you can see uh, everything is in, but it's going to take some skillful driving. This is the turning circle. This is that wall across the way. I'm not sure where this is, east and west. This is pretty close to where their garage is here. And these are the turning circle for the Chevy Colorado. Back that out to the maximum, and that's called the curb to curb. So there's some front end room on this too as well, I would think, that may play a role. So is it doable? I don't know, but that's what it would take. That's your existing wall and stairs, which has been modeled in, and we'll cover that in a minute. Personally, I don't think it's doable on a regular basis. This brings us to really the final kind of alternative, which is both of the Corvairs, or I'm pretty sure that you could probably get a Fleetwood if it's a coupe. If there's a Cadillac that's a coupe, maybe it swings in there. We can model that at some point if you like. For this though, flip them around, and now we have to try to see if we can get both of these in coming in this bay here. As I said, I went out and modeled this. This is pretty close, I believe. This was confirmed by several dimensions, and these are the stairs. So just ignoring that those stairs would definitely have to go away, and the wall too, for that matter. This is, as I recall, this is very rudimentary here, and I don't, this is taking some magic and burning some rubber off those tires. So I don't think that's doable either, leaving that wall in place. Even if you were to widen the garage door and get the stairs up somehow, I don't think that's doable. The Fleetwood, on the other hand, I believe you could probably drive that right in as it exists now. Like that. I think I could come in and out of there pretty reasonably. The Chevy Colorado, on the other hand, shift down here a little bit. These are its turning radius. The big one, 44 foot 6-inch turning radius. And I just want, this is rudimentary, and the front end, I don't know how it stays away from those stairs right there in particular. I suppose a person could maneuver it out of there. But assuming that they couldn't or didn't want to, we really need something more like that. That's what you have now, and this is the simplest, quickest rendition of stairs down from that grade, a new retaining wall. And that's pushed back about 5'4" from the face to the face to accomplish that. I'm not going to make that turning radius. That looks very simple. I suppose they let you pave right up to the sidewalk, and so you come up the alley, and then you can get in and turn into it. So with the new wall, yes, I think it's doable. Inside, in terms of the stairs down, this was the only thing I could really come up with. that works, or that theoretically works, and that is from the outside you come in, step down on a landing, down 3 more to another landing, and then out to the cars if you can get around them. And if they're both in there, you'd be ducking under the stair here and weaseling. It's going to be a tight squeeze. In any event, this was the only stairs I managed to put together for this. Come down onto this landing, down 3 to this one, and then you have to go up 14 or 15, I believe, maybe even 16 to this attic space. And the truck then, whatever you have, goes in under those stairs. And that guy's 6 foot though, about 200 pounds, and he could probably get into one of these without crawling over it. So doable, but still snug. And this arrives us now at this little half bath. We'll cover this. This is very reasonably put together. This is what you have right now. And so I looked at, corner showers. In particular, like this one, I didn't actually find that particular one. I went to one of these Home Depot ones because they're all going to be similar sized. But once you model that in there, it's pretty tight through here. So I thought that one is probably out. And going to a typical neo angle. This gets into this casing some. Probably this window will need to be made more narrow from the inside. It's not going to be able to reasonably die against that. And since it's brick outside, that means you have to narrow it evenly from both sides. So it looks like you could lose maybe 6 inches to make that look decent. The casing doesn't have to be 5 inches big either though, inside. As a matter of fact, it should be smaller. This gives you a little bit more reasonable clearance. They do want 21 in front of a toilet. So that remains a little bit of a problem, or a little bit of something we'll have to investigate. This is a pretty long toilet. It's not the shortest toilet in the industry. I'm sure that we can find one that has 1.5 inches less projection to meet code. They do have these, this is a Kohler, I believe this is called the Kohler Veal, that has a tank that goes in the wall. I know this wall isn't too tall. I would have to double check and see if you've got the height for that. This is what that unit looks like. However, I did want to take another look and see if there wasn't something with a curve that was perhaps smaller than what I had originally looked like and that maybe that might make a difference. And so I found this, and this thing comes 32 by 32, also 34 by 34, but that was the smallest I was able to find so far. It was 32 by 32. It looks just like this. It's just another 2 inches smaller in each direction. And if we go back to this plan where we were, and we just take out that, it is actually underneath that right there. And it actually, this 21, maybe that was closer to 23, and maybe this is fine. But I like something like this a little better. It's just a little smoother getting through there. That's the 32 by 32 shown, and with the Kohler Veal, 32 inches, we don't need that much. Even going back to a regular Kohler Wellworth toilet, standard toilet, has us meeting code. And whether, well, there's a 34. This was actually 32 by 32, and coming up to 34, still pretty they're not going to complain if this is a half an inch short here. And perhaps the window can be wide. It was 26 going in. I don't know whether it could be widened that whole way with the 34-inch unit, but this definitely sounds like, or looks like it's doable. Some people are freaks and would trim off that corner if they could, which they can. I don't know if the 2 or 3 inches is worth it, but that is where I'm breaking that off right now until I hear further from you. So there was that one, and then there was the other one. That one. And that one. This brings us to the second floor bath, and I only just, because I have to have a conversation with you about exactly what you're looking for in a bath. And A, and B, I do not recall if there are stairs through here. If you step down right in here, and then this is on landing. So I need to have some feedback from you on that, because it's pretty critical to where this goes next. So I will get this over to you, and there's a lot of space here depending on what's happening in the hall. In any event, I feel like I can do something pretty decent with this area.